Hi, it's Elise here at Bowman Library, the whole new middle grade book spotlight. So this week we are taking a look at something we haven't done in a while. I don't know why we haven't, but we totally should because it's been like 6 months and it's usually not like us. So what are we doing this week? We are all about new books, and we have been getting a ton of new books. I love new books because there's just something about reading something that's new, exploring something that hasn't been explored yet. Yeah, we've had a ton of stuff come in, and it was hard to just pick 6 to share with you, but that's what we're gonna do. We have 6 amazing new books. There's a little bit of something in here for everybody, so let's get started. Our first one is by one of my new favorite authors, Justin A. Reynolds. He's pretty much awesome. It's the end of the world, and I'm in my bathing suit. Yeah, that's right. That's a pretty epic title, actually. So it's been 40 days since the end of the school year, and Eddie, our main character, he has this goal for the summer. And he's been successful at it so far. And he's not going to do any laundry. His goal is just to wear all the clean clothes he has until it runs out, and then he hasn't really thought that far past that point. But we're going on 40 days. He's been successful at this. But when his mother finds all the dirty clothes that he's been hiding for the past 40 days, his punishment is that he has to stay home and do his laundry while his family goes off to the annual Lake Erie Beach Bash. Now, wearing only his swimsuit, because that's the last piece of clean clothing that he has, it's in the middle of him doing laundry that the power goes out, and Eddie finds himself pairing up with the 4 other kids that were left in the neighborhood. And they're just kind of out, having a good time. They're going to make a good time out of this situation. They're by themselves, no power. What are they going to be able to get into? But the situation kind of starts to turn weird, though, as it goes from day to evening and then evening to night. And no one from this beach bash comes home. It's like the whole community has disappeared. It's then that the group starts to make plans as to what they are going to need to do in order to survive if no one comes back, if they are left on their own. Now, this humorous look at the end of the world is one that you'll be asking yourself maybe some of the same questions that they're going to be going throughout this story, wondering what you would do if you were in this situation. It's the end of the world, and I'm in my bathing suit. 2 Degrees by Alan Gratz, another amazing author. So this is told through 4 points of view. If you've read some Alan Gratz before, you know he does this a lot, that we have some different stories going on at the same time. This one is 3 stories through 4 points of view. Each main character has their own situation and growing experience caused by climate change that has led to the earth getting 2 degrees warmer. So we have Akira, she's forced to outrun this mega wildfire that's chasing her, while we have Owen and George, they are stalked and mauled by polar bears. And then we also have Natalie, who's living down in Miami, Florida. She's getting ready for her home and her family as a Category 5 hurricane is getting ready to hit them head on. Now, all the characters are impacted in various ways. None come out unscarred or unchanged, but the experiences they have are honestly things that could happen, or they all already are happening. And it kind of is there to remind us that not only are these things happening, but also things are changing for us. Now, each part of the book is fast-paced. It will leave you turning the pages as fast as you can because you will be in complete suspense as to what is going to happen to these characters. Now, if you love the I Survived series, you will love this book. It's kind of similar, just 3 stories packed into one. Alan Gratz, amazing as always. 2 Degrees. The Visitors. Oh, I love a good ghost story, and this one is not your typical ghost story, okay? So we start at the Hollowed Pines Plantation in South Carolina. It's been abandoned by humans, but there are still some ghosts that are there roaming the property, including a 12-year-old spirit who cannot remember even why he is there or even what his name is. It's when 3 middle schoolers show up that things start to get a little stirred up on the plantation as they are looking for information for a school project about this boy named Will Perkins. And Will Perkins disappeared 50 years earlier and was last seen at the plantation and has never been seen or heard from again. Now, as flashbacks start to come to our ghost and secrets are revealed, the ghost also starts to realize that the lives of these three humans are actually in danger, and it may be up to him to save them, which could even mean that he's going to have to fully realize himself to them, yeah, and that is going to change everything for everyone. This heavy and thought-provoking story is one that's part ghost story, it's part mystery, it's part historical, and it's part about accepting people for who they are, the visitors. Rescue by Jennifer Nielsen. I love Jennifer Nielsen. She writes some amazing fantasy, but her historical fiction, Rescue, no exception. She takes things and makes them so clear. Yeah, you can't put this one down. This is Rescue. So Maggie is living with her parents on the France-Germany border at the start of World War II. Now she and her father, they love breaking codes and secret messages together. And when he goes to he's British. When he goes to fight for the Allies, he leaves her this jar full of codes and secret messages for her to practice with. Now, 2 years pass. She has not seen him. They haven't really heard from him. Her and her mother, they've had to leave their home. They are now living in an occupied zone in France on her grandmother's farm. And Maggie starts to sell things on the black market. It's one of the things that happen during wartime. You have to do what you have to do. And it's while she's doing this stuff on the black market that she ends up gaining entry to this group, the Resistance, the secret group that their goal is to take down the Nazi army. And she's recruited because she has this incredible ability to use and break codes and secret messages. Now, when she meets an injured soldier who has knowledge of her father, Maggie learns that her father is a spy for the British, and that he actually may indeed be captured and be in prison. And it may be up to her to rescue him. But that's not going to be easy, nor is that the easy part. The deal that she makes in order to go rescue her father is that she needs to bring out these 3 German individuals that have been living in occupied France in secret. She needs to bring them to safety. She has to get them out of the country, especially because one of them knows where her father is being kept and can bring her right there. Part mystery, part thriller, part historical fiction. This unique take on World War II is one unlike anything that's on the shelf. You will not be able to put this one down. Yeah, you will learn so much about parts of World War II that you may not even have realized was going on. It takes a great look at the code breaking and secret message side of the war. Rescue. Playing through the turnaround. So 8th graders Jake, Cassie, Lily, Mac, and Nick, they're each struggling with their own personal issues, but when they get to their Jazz Lab elective, everything fades away, and they are able to express themselves and communicate in ways through their instruments that they can't otherwise. One day, though, without any foreknowledge, they show up to their jazz lab and their elderly director has quit and they are left hanging. One answer they get from a school board member is that it's related to budget cuts, and when other electives are soon getting the same treatment, they all decide, all the students whose electives are being cut, they decide they need to get together and they need to get the school board's attention to make their voices heard. It's when they find the petitions that they work hard for to get people to sign, unread and in the trash from the school board, that they've decided they're not willing to listen or understand us, and the 5 Jazz Lab students decide they're going to take their voices to the next level, and instead of using their voice, they're going to use their instruments. Unfortunately, this realistic story is one that happens all over the country, and even here. But it shows the importance of being passionate, standing up for what you want and what you need. An incredible story. I love, you will get to know each and every single one of our characters, all 5 of them, their points of view are shared, playing through the turnaround. And our last new book for this week is Valentina Salazar is Not a Monster Hunter. So life has completely changed for 11-year-old Valentina after the death of her father, including how her family used to go on monster rescuing adventures. The fact that they were never in one place, the fact that she was homeschooled, everything has changed. Fast forward to the now because she's going to public school and she doesn't feel like she fits in. She's being settled down in one place, which she's never been before. She doesn't even know how to deal with that. Valentina decides that she wants to go back to monster rescuing, especially when she starts to hear rumors of monsters starting to come around. In an effort to convince her family to return back to their old normal, she finds out about a story of this rare monster egg that needs to be saved and protected. And before she knows it, she and her 2 older siblings find themselves on the road once again, carrying out their family's mission. Now, this fantasy meets some realism, and also all about family is one that every reader can relate to, even if we are not monster rescuers. This is Valentina Salazar is not a monster hunter. So these are 6 of the new books that we have here at the library, so come on out, because believe it or not, you may know this, you may not, we have a whole special section that's just new books. So these will be there, but there are tons of others. So come on out to the library and always take a look and see what we're adding, because it might be that perfect book that you have been waiting for. I hope you have an amazing week, and I hope you tune back next week. We'll have a whole new middle grade book spotlight.